Hello YouTube. This is going to be a pretty brief video. I wasn't originally going to publish it, but as I started doing this job, I started filming it to jog my own memory later, so I thought I might as well put it up there to be of use to you guys. What I'm doing is I'm removing the pedal box of my Mark III Ford Capri and the brake servo and master cylinder from the other side in the engine bay. The reason I'm doing this is my brake. I went to drive my Capri after it being off the road for the winter. Hit the brakes, there was a sucking sound of air, and the brakes effectively don't even really work. I assume the servo is completely dead. From the research I've done, they're a bit of a pain to refurbish. Can be done, but it costs a few £100. And because I'm running side draft carbs as well, it's never going to work that well anyway. So what I'm going to do is remove the whole lot, send the pedal box off to Burton Power to get converted into a brake bias hydraulic brake system, and then figure out how to replumb the Capri's brakes to work with that system. Anyway, on to the video. Just removing the Capri's pedal box. So far, it looks like there's 4 sets of nuts and washers on this side, and they stack like that, with a nut, then a spring washer, then a normal washer. When I've done all them, it looks like there's a pin on the brake pedal where I just remove the clevis pin, bash the pin out, and hopefully I can pull the whole lot off from inside the engine bay. Bolts are easier to get to if you pull this plastic tube out through the pedal box, and then you can see the nut right at the top, the broken spring which I presume went onto the clutch, and the clutch cable attachment at the top. And once those 4 bolts are removed and you've taken the pin out of the brake pedal, the whole master cylinder is very loose. And I think once I've removed the brake lines, the vacuum hose, the sensor, and drained some of the fluid, hopefully the whole assembly should just pull off, which is what I'm going to try next. And yep, once you've disconnected the vacuum pipe and the brake pipes and those 4 bolts, the whole thing, and of course the brake pedal clevis pin, the whole thing just pulls out of the car, as you can see there. Now that the brake servo and master cylinder's all out of the way, and I've bent the brake lines up a bit because I'm chucking them out later so the fluid doesn't drip out, I'm going to remove the pedal box. It looks like there's 4 main bolts that hold it onto the body of the car, 2 here and 2 up here. So I'll remove those, see where we get to. I've done that and nothing's moved yet, so I'm going to take these 2 bolts out of the steering column bracket to see if it'll just drop down out the way a little. And yep, with those 2 bolts undone, the steering wheel just dropped down. It now moves around and it's actually just resting on all these wires. So I'll either have to prop it up or unplug some of these wires so they don't get stretched and damaged. While I decide what to do, I'll remove the last 2 bolts that look like they're on the pedal box. One there, and one on the other side, up there. And that seems to have done it. The pedal box is very loose now. I think the only things probably holding it in place is the accelerator cable and the clutch cable. So I'll try and disconnect both of those, see if I can wiggle the box round all these wires and out of the car. So the accelerator cable came off quite easily, but the clutch is proving very difficult. Here's a clip of where it joins the top of the pedal so you can see what it looks like. This is the top of the clutch cable pin. I'm just trying to figure out how I get this out. And what I've done is I've dislodged it a bit by a lot of bashing with a screwdriver, but it still hasn't come off. So what I'm going to try and do is remove this stop here so I can bring the pedal much higher up and hopefully twist it, pop it out the top that way. That did the job, popped out nice and easily. So now what I think I have to do I slide the whole assembly over to the left, get this accelerator pedal out of that. What I'm going to try and do is lower the steering column down a bit more, see if I can slide the whole thing left and then wiggle the whole assembly out. I've also unplugged the brake light switch, as you can see here. And there you have it. Get the accelerator pedal out. I ended up taking off one of these clips from behind, sliding it left and right, pulling the accelerator pedal out first, and then I can wiggle the whole pedal box out. Now to send this off, I'm going to send it to Burton Power to get it modified. I'll probably report on how well that goes in a later video. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. See you next time.